Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to talk about Elsa and 1-year ownership and what we feel is the pros and cons of this car and how well she has and hasn't done off-road without a lift and without any other modifications. Now that we've got a year in the bag, we got some things coming, so stick around. Stay tuned. Alright, so after owning this car for a year and driving her around, going through a lot of washes, some mountain trails, we've done a couple of snow trips, and the snow trips are probably the only ones that we have found where we needed X mode. And there's been one or two other times we could have used X mode, but with driving skill, we really didn't need it on loose surfaces because this car has a lot of technology and things built into it that it really doesn't need it, which is interesting to me, but you know, it's good for what it is. Now, with that being said, she's finally gotten her first major service with Subaru, and she came out with a clean bill of health. Now, mind you, this is after we've jumped this car a couple times. We've hot dogged it through some washes a couple times. We've constantly climbed grades, been off camber, had her teeter-tottering on 3 wheels, you know, without the lift. So, out of the box, I will say this car is extremely capable for being a CUV and from the CUV market. Now, Subaru has paid a lot of attention to a lot of things, and the way they have the all-wheel drive and the drivetrain set up in this car is quite phenomenal. I can't say I'm disappointed with it because I'd be lying if I said I was. Now, with this being the Sport, it does have the LSDs front and back. That's just the way it comes with it. Premium is the other way it comes with it. And from my understanding, from what I've asked, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below, but the Premium and the Sport are the only ones that come with the 2.5, not the 2-liter. And I can say this: if you're interested in getting one of these cars, stick to the Sport or the Premium. Do it with the 2.5, because I know we're going to need that extra horsepower and that extra grunt once we do the wheels, tires, and the lift, which we're going to be doing here very soon. Now, as far as everything else, I mean, we're driving on a dirt road right now, and we're you know, tripping through a wash. And after 1 year of driving this car around and hammering on her a little bit, the ride is still very quiet, which I can give Subaru a thumbs up on that with quality and that well built the car is, or how well built the car is. So, would I recommend this car and suggest it to people that are looking to get into something like this? Yeah, hands down. Now, there's a lot of things that this car does that it still blows me away every time we take her out in the dirt and we drive her around. But there's a few things that I got to find a way to fix or change, because I'm not real happy with it, say the least. So, for example, the factory sway bars on this, great for road driving and hitting the twisties. Perfect. Phenomenal. But as far as for off-road use, too stiff. Way too stiff. It doesn't allow the suspension and the traction and other features of this car to work to their best of ability. Now, if I can figure out how to do a off-road sway bar and adapt one to the front and back of this, I'm going to figure it out. You guys will see it, but I'm going to figure it out, because I honestly think this car would be that much better if the suspension was free to use and flex out. Now, I know things will get better with the lift, but still, you're limiting yourself with a sway bar. That's one of the things with this car I don't like. I absolutely don't like. The sway bars are too damn stiff. It's not, for what you want to do, it's not enough. It's too much for road application and daily driving, and going to the grocery store or whatever else. Great, but if you're into overlanding, and if you're want to do a lot of off-roading and going through trails and through washes and everything else, the factory sway bars on this, they're good for what they're meant for, but as far as that application, they're too stiff. So I'm going to figure out a way to mock up or mount up or fabricate or however I can an off-road style sway bar, because I want to free up the suspension that much more. Now, I don't think it's going to kill the ride quality. Yeah, it's going to be a little looser. Yeah, it's going to be a lot softer. But you know what? When you're out overlanding and you're going to come through some areas when you got your lift and everything else, and it's a rut, or you're going over like a rocks or whatever that you want to get over, you're going to want as much suspension travel as you can get. You don't want to limit it. Now, with that being said, her gas mileage is still really well. Her range is very effective. The only other thing that I haven't figured out yet or found, and I'm trying to find one that works, is a daytime running light and high beam that doesn't flicker. Now, I don't know what the issue is with Subarus with that, but there's a few of them out there that work. I got another one that's coming that I'm gonna try, but everything else, a few of the other ones that I've tried and have had some recommendations with, I don't like the fact that it flickers. The flickering, that's aggravating. We're not at a club, so I'm working on trying to figure that out. When I find something that works and doesn't flicker, and looks well and does its job right, I'll definitely post a video about it and let you guys know. I will say some of the mods that we have done to this car, like the K&N air filter, I've had a few people comment and say that they didn't like, or not that they didn't like, well, they didn't like it for one, but they said that it caused a check engine light, whatever else. And after the major service that we just had done to the car for I think it was the 24,000 mile service, she's got no sensors or electronics or any warnings, issues, or anything else with that K&N air filter that we put in the car. Which, to me, well, if you go back to the video for it, you'll see what the part number and everything else that I use, and we've had no problem with that air filter at all. We've actually have gained a little bit of power, a little more pep, picked up some MPG, and freed up, things for Elsa. So then, we freed up some more power with Elsa and some other stuff with that. We do have some other modifications and upgrades we are planning on doing, like a nameless mid-pipe, muffler delete, a Crawford, intake manifold spacers. We're going to try and get a little more grunt out of this package without having to do tune. I really don't want to get into doing a tune on this. I know it can be done, but I don't want to dig that deep into this car. We'll just we'll see where it runs from there. Now, some of the other upgrades and modifications we've done thus far has just been the LED light upgrades from the headlight for the headlights and for the fog lights. Make sure you check out those videos on that. The company I got the headlights from, they have a really high quality DLR and high beam. I'm going to give it a shot. Some of the other ones we've tried and have done, they flicker, like I had said previously. So I'm not trying to do stuff or get stuff that's going to flicker, because that's just, like I said, we're not in a club, and that's just annoying because it looks trashy. So we're going to go that route. We are going to do the lift. We're going to do the wheels and tires. the Falcon Wild, God, what is that? The Wild Peak All Trails. All Trail. Sorry, there he goes. We are going to be running those tires, and we do plan on a few other things for this car. Skid plates, the motor mounts, the pitch mount, the transmission mounts, the diff brace, all different things that we're going to put on this car to improve things as we do the lift and the bigger wheels and tires, because you don't want to put strain on stuff that you don't need to. Now, are we happy with our purchase with this car? Yes. Did Subaru nail it with this? Yeah. For the CUV market, I think Subaru's got everybody cornered. Kind of like how Polaris has got everybody cornered with side-by-sides. Can-Am's catching up, and now Honda and a few other companies are trying to play catch-up with Subaru on the CUV market. But as an overlanding vehicle or off-road vehicle or anything else, Subaru's got everybody beat hands down. They're way ahead of the game. The only other thing that I don't like with Elsa is the approach angle. I know it'll get better with the lift. I really wish Subaru could package the front end different to try and give it a little more. But I understand, they cater to a lot of people, not just us in the off-road world. So, Subaru, if you're listening, try and improve that front end ground clearance on these cars. You'll get a bigger crowd. Other than that, we're going to end the video here. If you like what you hear and what you see, and if you want to see more content, I got more stuff coming. I'm trying to be a lot more proactive with it. I know I haven't done a video since towards the beginning of the year. I do apologize for that, guys. But you got to understand, I just changed jobs, so I'm trying to get everything worked out and get through a few things. Now that everything's a little more on point, more videos and content will be coming better. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for hanging out. And like always, be good, keep rubber side down, and see you on the next one.